What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we are going to go over the markets. I'm going to try to make this a quick video. I announced yesterday on Twitter I will be doing today's video and tomorrow's video. Then I'm off from Friday to Monday. I'm going deep sea fishing, so I won't be around. I will be sending tweets out and stuff. I'll be getting in my Discord. The links are down below for both of those, so definitely check those out. Also, the other affiliate links down there. But let's take a look at what's going on. The CPI data came out and it was good according to the news. We'll see what happens here. Obviously, we're getting a little rally, but we're still looking at all our resistance that we've still been looking at. We're going to take a look at the smaller time frames, go all the way down into the bigger ones. We'll also take a look at our Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP resistance levels. Those still have not been touched, guys. Remember, keep the bigger time frames in mind, and the bigger macro is still bearish in my opinion. I'm going to show you why, but I will also show you the levels that if we break, where we could be headed. So definitely stick around for the whole video. Make sure you smash those likes. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What are your targets? I'd like to hear from you guys. No answer is wrong. I do read all my comments. A lot of times I just put a fist bump or whatever if there's no explanation. But I do read all the comments. So make sure you leave your comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you want daily updates. Don't forget to tick your notification bells to get you notified when I post new videos, and share the video if you would. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here. So this is the Dow Jones. We talked about the possibility come up and tag this trend line one more time before, tanking to the bottom. And what we've been talking about is so if this daily closes above this 33,271, chances are we come up to test this 32,900 to 34,000 range, depending on if, when, and where it gets up there. But first of all, we're still making hidden bearish divergence. Even if we hit this high over here, we move this over to right here, and then you'll see there's still lower highs in the price, higher highs in the RSI. But as of right now, this is the one I'm watching. Again, if this is to break up above this and close, remember, the RSI follows the body, not the wick of the candle. So wherever it closes will be the end of this wick. This is a daily chart. So if we do close above here, then I'd be expecting up here, and then we may get Bitcoin's pump also, and I'll show you where that'll be, and I'll show you where the resistance levels are. So let's get into it. And the DXY has broken our support here, but again, we have not opened and closed any daily below this. So if we switch to the daily, we'll take a look at that Parabola too. But as you can see, we still have some more support down here. Right now, we're on the daily. The 55 EMA is where we're sitting, and that is about right where we're at now, 105.26 area. See where this daily closes. We may pump right back above, get support here. But either way, I'm still bullish in the long term on the DXY. And let me move over to the weekly and show you why. If you look at this on the weekly, here's our targets, 122 and all the way up to 172 as a possibility. Looking at this as a falling wedge, that would get us right up into that 170 area. That doesn't mean it happens in a day, guys. This is months and months, possibly a year or more to get these points. But I do see us at least getting to the 122. We'll see how it reacts there, which is just an old high here and a measured move from the smaller time frames down here. So let's take a look at, this is the parabola that we were watching. We did break, but like I said yesterday, I don't trust these parabolic trend lines, because all you have to do is move that and look at that. Then it hasn't broken. So I don't put a lot of weight on these. I know a lot of people like to watch that stuff, but like I said, if you zoom out into the bigger time frame, this really doesn't make any sense. Let's put it on the monthly and take a look at what that might look like, right? So we'll go to the weekly. But as you can see, there's nothing. You can move this line around. People had it up here, said we broke up here. You could have put it up here back in this little mini one and said it broke, but you can see what happened. So again, I don't trust these parabolas. If you do, have at it, play with them, but I like to trust in what the charts are actually showing. And if we look at the monthly resistance is this 55 EMA at 24, around 24.5. We still have not broken above that. We would have to break above that and open and close a monthly to really be bullish in the macro, right? Let's look at the weekly. So on the weekly, what we've been watching here is this bear flag. The measured move of just the channel got us to this target and then down to this target. Now what happens if we break this bottom trend line here? What would that target be? Well, if it was this week, it'd be about 8,200. And if it was next week, and that doesn't mean it hits there next week. As you can see, these took weeks to get down there. So if it was to be in the next few weeks, somewhere around the $8,000 range, right? This is on the weekly, so we could wick below that, and we'll look at the smaller time frames to see what that would look like. But these are my targets for the downside unless we come up to retest this again. And again, that could be the 200 EMA is around 26.7, but we'll take a look at the smaller time frames and see a little bit closer where the resistance is and stuff like that. So one more weekly chart I want to look at is this macro weekly, right? These parabolic trend lines you can obviously see because it was done, but you could have put it, you know, anywhere and said it broke down prior to that. But again, that's why I don't really trust these. Like this one here, we could put this all the way over like that and say that was the parabola right here. But either way, let me move that back. So what we're looking at now, let's zoom in here. This is what we've been watching. This also shows our resistance around that 24.5. You can see this trend line off this wick here. This wick here, we got rejected here. We also got rejected on this fib. And right now that trend line is around 24.5. Now, where is the fib? If we were to pump up this week, would be around 25.5. But like I said, guys, unless we get above this 24.5 and really, you know, retest it, make support on it, then we can be bullish. But there's still no reason to be bullish here, in my opinion. If you guys are interested in trading, check out PrimeXBT, by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you like 99% of the scammy ones that just want to liquidate you. So check them out if you haven't. Awesome exchange. I have a tutorial on my YouTube page. You can use my promo codes. They're down below. Use the link down below with my promo code Savvy50 and you will get up to $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. They do have copy trading. They have contests that you can trade for free to get used to the platform. Definitely check them out if you haven't already. And real quick, looking at the Amazon compared to Bitcoin .com bubble chart here. When bubbles pop, this is what they look like. I've showed this a million times. We made this chart on December 2nd. As you can see, every little rally in here, everyone got bullish. And way up in here, when I made this chart, I told you guys, every little pump, everyone will get super bullish. That's how they get exit liquidity. And then it comes down and people wish they would have sold up here. And then it comes down, you know, makes a new low, then it bounces and they don't sell again because they think it's bullish. And then boom, just make another low. Then they wish they'd have sold here. And then we get the rally. Like this is right around the area we're at right now. You can see it even in the RSI and in the MACD. All this stuff lines up. I drew the MACD. I told you what the first time we bottom, I think we'll break this trend line here, just like we did right here. Come up, everyone will be bullish. Say that was the bottom. Then we come back and make a new low. And that's when most people will lose confidence. And that's what I said. I think it'll take, you know, 7 to 10 years before you see a new all-time high in Bitcoin. I really think that's the case. If this doesn't play out and it changes, I'll let you know. But so far, nothing at all has changed in this chart, right? It's playing out with the little pumps to get everyone bullish, just to make a new lower low, little pump just to make everyone bullish, to make a new lower low, so on and so forth, all the way down. This is how bubbles pop. I've showed you this plenty of times. So if we look at where we're at right here and look down at the MACD, we are in that area, the same area, making, you know, the MACD's crossing, making everyone bullish again. And then just to continue down to make a lower low. So all in all, in the macro, this is still bearish in my opinion. Let's get into the smaller time frames. Then we'll take a look at Litecoin, Ethereum, and XRP. So as you guys know, this is the daily chart. This is the target we had from November, our first target, that 24.3, 24.5 area. And I had said if that broke, that would become our resistance. And that's exactly where we are now. I drew this in to show you kind of what I'm expecting from here. So far, so good. This would be the false bottom that I showed you. And this would be sometime towards the end of this year. Maybe, you know, October to December, somewhere in that area. Then we get another rally, possibly up to, you know, the $20,000 range or whatever, just to come down and make another low. And everyone loses confidence in the market if Bitcoin gets below that, you know, 7,500. People are saying that's the lowest it'll go. So that makes a good spot to get a bounce and get everyone bullish again. And then come down and make, like I said, a new lower low, and that will crush the confidence in Bitcoin. That's what I'm looking at here. Also, if we zoom in, do we see any divergence right here on the daily? Yes, we do. We're making higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That is bearish divergence, hidden bearish divergence. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend, and the trend is down. Another thing I wanted to point out here, when we had this bear flag forming here, this rising channel, we did wick above a little bit right here. But once we broke this, like I said, we got our measured move perfectly. If you're watching this channel, you'll know we hit that exact and got our bounce that we were expected. We never came back and broke this high. So this is what will change if we do that this time. But let's take a look at the next one. So then we came down, we hit this target. So our low, I have a blue line here also. We have not broken that blue line. Where is it? Blue line's about 24.5. So if we break that and get support on this old low, then we can be looking for that $28,000 to $30,000 range. And that's just a measured move of this here. I don't count these hype pumps above. These were just traps, as I think we are in another trap right now. My 24.2 short I still have in. I set my stops at 24.5. I will lose a little bit if it goes up to 24.5, but I'm still pretty confident in that. I could have took profit down here, but I made quite a bit when I shorted this 24.5 over here. Once we came down in here, I put my stops at 23.5. So there was a massive profit on that one. And then I entered the 24.2 short, which I'm still in. My stops are at 24.5. And that's, like I said, if that breaks, I don't see us breaking this 24.5. If we do and get support, then we're looking for that 28,000 everyone's talking about, possibly as high as 32. But until we break this, I do not see that happening. So then what happens if we come down and break this bottom trend line? Then we have our targets of approximately 16. And if we look at this, yeah, this would be the first target, that 1680, somewhere in there. And then if we look, we bring this down, look at this as the flagpole, and this being the bear flag, then that gets us down to the mid $8,000 range. Again, this won't happen in a day. This could take months to get down to these levels. So something to be aware of. I know everyone's getting extremely bullish again, guys, but we've seen this so many times, right? Let's get into this 4-hour chart here. So look at what's going on here. So if we look at this high right here and this high right here, right now they're even, but on here you're making a higher high. So that is bearish divergence, right? So I talked about this count yesterday. Actually, 2 days ago, I posted this on Twitter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. So if we break, now this count gets invalidated if we break the 24,250. That's the only way this gets invalidated. Then if that gets invalidated, then we have to relook at this count, right? But as of right now, wave 1, 2, this should be a correction here, and then 3 gets us down to around the 24.5 range, right in that area. And then we'll have bounce up to 4 around 24.4. But again, if we break this 2 at 24,250 here, then this count would be invalidated. I drew this in as an example of the 5 waves within this third wave, right? So I had it drawn to possibly hitting the 0.618 golden pocket area. But if we are done here, that would change the count just a little bit. Let me show you how I would do that. So I would take the trend-based fib extension, bring it to the top of 2, the bottom of 1 right here, and then to where we went. So then that would get us our wave 3 up a little bit higher. That would bring us to around, and that would also match up with this here, this old channel, pretty close. So anyways, let's take a look at that. So that would get us down to around 21.6, somewhere in that area. And then we may get another bounce up to around 21.8. And then ultimately down to our 21.5 area. That would be the end of wave 3. And then we would look for a wave 4 up. Now this wave 4 would be able to go, and this is the blue one. So this is the more macro for the 4 hour. As long as it didn't pass 22.6 after that, then we could be looking for our 5th wave down at around 19.5 or somewhere in there. And I've showed you guys this could take time. We could bounce back up. This could be wave 2 and then continue down. So either way, this is not looking super bullish to me. But if we do look at the rising broadening wedge here, that top would get us to around the 26, somewhere in that area. Now, like I said, if we break that area, we could get anywhere from the 28,000 to the $32,000 range. And this 32,000 would be a measured move with breaking up from this rising broadening wedge. But a rising broadening wedge, 70% of the time is bearish. Would expect a rejection here, come down, and then break. So if we let's take a measured move off of this 5th here. If we break that right around that 20,500 area, where would that target get us? Somewhere in the 14 to around 14.6, somewhere in there. That would match up with our high of 2019, I think it was. So that would make sense. Maybe get a bounce here and come up. But again, guys, don't get overly bullish here. I know this move looks super bullish, but it's not all that bullish in my opinion. Again, if we break the 26.3 area, actually, I would have to see the 24.5 area broken. That's the main part, like I showed you on this daily time frame. This is the main chart, 24.3 to 24.5. I have to see a break and hold above here before getting bullish. But otherwise, this is what I'm looking for here, guys. All right, let's take a look at Litecoin. So Litecoin, our resistance level is 68.133. If that breaks, holds, gets support, then we're looking at the $80 range. After that, I do expect a major plummet. Still have my target around 24 bucks, possibly much, much lower if we are in the longer term bear market. Like I think the bottom, like I said, the false bottom, 7,000 to 8,000, somewhere in that range. The end of this year, and then bounce back up into the beginning of next year, only to come back down and make its low next year at possibly as low as 3,500, right? Ethereum. So our major resistance, which is our measured move from our break of this rising wedge here, 1919, we still have not hit that. We are making lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI. That's the RSI resetting for more downside. Still bearish on this also, unless we get above this, say 1920, and we hold support. Then we have to break the 200 EMA around 2150. Let's see what happens here, but I expect a rejection somewhere in the area we're at right now, and then we come down to test these lows again. So what would happen? We would have to come down, retest this trend line here, depending on how long it would take, 1250 or so, right? Maybe get another bounce. If not, if it breaks through this, then again, we would be looking for the same type move. It would get ugly. Let's just put it that way. XRP, same thing, guys. Still waiting on a break of this 30-cent range. Actually, let me adjust this. So yeah, around that 30, 31 cent range. You guys know my target's around 17. Could be much, much lower if we do go into longer term bear market. So be aware of that. Be careful. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, smash those thumbs up. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think's going on here. Do you think we've bottomed? Do you think we bottom later at a lower low? Do you think we bottom next year? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you share the videos. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next one.